Nothing plucks the heartstrings of the American spirit like an open road. Oh, I'm not talking about those rivers of concrete which lure us with stable speeds and zero surprises. I'm talking about the highways and byways that really stitch this crazy quilt of a country together. Why, on roads like this, anything can happen. Consider cuisine. Interstates give you culinary conformity, but out here, flavors change with the contour of the land, and words like hospitality take on old meanings. Why, I bet down around that curve there's a cafe, diner, tea room, or truck stop where the waitresses still call you hon and the cooks actually cook. How do I know? I don't. But I've got a map and a motorcycle and a month to find out. I'm Alton Brown. This is Feasting on Asphalt. Behold, the Atlantic Ocean. It's hard to get any more east of this and still be in the United States, or dry for that matter. So it seems like a pretty good place to start our journey. Let's talk about that journey. I trust we're all familiar with this structure. This is the continental United States. Here's us, a very windy Isle of Palm, South Carolina. Where are we headed? Los Angeles, California. There are a lot of miles between there and here, and a lot of food. And I think the only way that 4 guys on motorcycles and 3 guys in a pickup truck are gonna survive it is if we have rules. So let's talk about rules, shall we? Rule number 1, we will stick to back roads and clear of interstates whenever possible. Number 2, we will not eat at national chain restaurants. Number 3, no whining. Number 4, if we can't find a place to eat, we will fend for ourselves, either by camping and cooking or by relying on the kindness of strangers. I think that's about it for the rules. Come on, fellas, let's ride. Speaking of the fellas, you're gonna be seeing a lot of them, so you might as well meet them. We've got Tom Monroe, producer, security, omnivore. Jean-Claude Dien, photographer, motorcyclist extraordinaire, fashion plate. Jared Rolston, motorcycle maintenance, recon, intelligence. Ramon Ingold, cameraman, protocol, dairy enthusiast. Lamar Owen, cameraman, lighting man, wheel man. Mike Clark, sound recordist, navigator, finicky eater. So I guess I have to make a little bit of confession here. This first place that we're headed, I actually am familiar with. It's the only time I'm going to let that happen on this trip, but I wanted to show you something that was actually a good example of what I think a road place really ought to be, at least in some ways, of course. Hold on here. By the way, I don't recommend this for most people. I'm just a little bit crazier than most. Highway 17, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, Jack's Cosmic Dogs. In about half an hour, this parking lot is going to be packed. Why? Because whether people know it or not, Jack's is a nearly perfect road food joint. Why? I'll show you. Well, not an absolute requirement. Covered outdoor seating is very nice because it allows you to look at the traffic going by on the road that the joint's on. There's more, though. For instance, quirky decor. I like to see this both inside and out a road joint. It shows that the owner-operator is paying real close attention. It has a sense of style. Ooh, I like that sign especially. Inside, Jack's is homey, comfortable, but what's really important is that the owner-operator is on site. Jack.
Okay, yes, sir.
Is this your place?
It's my place, yes.
You work here
Jack.
all the time?
I'm here all the time.
Owner-operator's got to be there, okay? He can go away sometimes to play golf or take a vacation, but if the owner-operator drifts away too far, things are gonna go downhill. Now also, we've got a helpful and knowledgeable staff that's even managed to concoct a secret cooking method. See, they take the hot dogs, they poach them in water, and then they slap them on a hot griddle and smother them in melted butter, which makes the skin puff up and crisp nicely. Now, let's see, what else? Oh yeah, we've got unique food items, such as this very ancient orange soda, which almost nobody can find anymore. And he's got things on the menu like blue cheese slaw on the dogs and sweet potato mustard. Here's the most important thing about any road food joint. It can be funky and cool, like Jack's. It can have unique food items that taste gosh darn good. But above all, a good road food place does not betray its DNA. Now, and what I mean by that is that it is what it is. Jack's is a hot dog stand, okay? It doesn't try to be a barbecue stand. It doesn't try to be a taco stand. It doesn't try to be a country restaurant. It's one thing. It is a hot dog stand, and it is a good one. Unfortunately, because of competition these days, too many road places try to be too many things, and it doesn't work. Don't betray your DNA. Oh, and the food here, it's really good. It would be wrong to leave Jack's without talking about French fries. French fries here are good. They're very good. Why? I think it may have something to do with these. This is a potato. Real French fries are made from potatoes, and they're made on site, like this. Anytime you hear that sound in a restaurant, it means that someone is hand-cutting French fries, which, as far as I'm concerned, is the only way the French fries should be brought into an establishment. Remember, listen for this sound. It is your assurance of French fry quality. As we kicked up our stands and headed south on Highway 17, my mind turned to road food. You know, eating and moving have always been connected, especially here in America, where we seem to possess a genetic predisposition to movement. If you ask me, Henry Ford is the true father of American cuisine. By making motoring affordable and reasonably reliable, he unleashed millions of would-be Lewis and Clarks on a mostly unpaved American landscape. Since it was impossible to drive and eat in those days, roadside picnics became very popular. But as the quality of roads improved, the American roadside restaurant was born. By the 1950s, thousands of diners, cafes, tea rooms, and truck stops dotted the landscape. Everything seemed great until President Eisenhower decided to build the American Autobahn, the interstate system. Traffic quickly shifted away from the old roads, and starved of customers, many of the classic eateries simply faded away. Of course, if there are any still out there, we will find them. After Henry Ford, I would have to say that the father of road food was a pharmacist, or rather pharmacists in general. You see, once upon a time, pharmacists mixed up stuff like swamp root and this stuff and some of this goop to create drugs to cure many ills. But druggists, or chemists as they were also called, were inventors as well. For instance, in 1767, English chemist and clergyman Joseph Priestley invented the first drinkable soda water, that is CO2 dissolved in H2O. This elixir was dispensed to cure various ills, but eventually a pharmacist added flavors, and by, say, the 19th century, people were drinking penny sodas just for the fun of it. In 1870, a pharmacist invented the ice cream soda, and in 1886, an Atlanta pharmacist concocted something that we now call Coca-Cola. By the early 20th century, many pharmacies had added a little sandwich counter to their fountain array and were turning a nice, tidy profit. This was very, very good for the early road traveler, because even towns too small to have proper restaurants would generally have a pharmacy. So all the traveler had to do was find themselves a drugstore, and they knew a tasty sandwich would be waiting. This strategy still works pretty well in some places, like Pitt's Pharmacy, which has been dosing out the goods both in the pharmacy and here at the counter for over 68 years. On top of serving as creative culinary hothouses, soda counters were community centers as well. Since they didn't serve alcohol, they provided a place for teens to congregate in court. I remember my mom telling me that she and her friends used to hang out there just to watch the soda jerk. They all had stupid crushes on them. Hello, my good man. What is your name?
I'm Jordan.
Jordan, how are you?
I'm fine.
I'm very well. Has anyone ever called you a jerk?
No, not today.
don't get all upset. I'm not insulting this young man. It's just that 30, 40 years ago, he would be called a soda jerk because in order to get soda out of those fountains over there, you had to kind of jerk them. It was a very awkward move, hence soda jerk. And it's a job that he would have been honored to have. But I know you don't jerk sodas now. What is the specialty of the house?
The egg salad sandwich.
Egg salad sandwich. Well, I will have an egg salad sandwich. And since you don't jerk sodas, how about a chocolate malted?
Okay.
Great. Chocolate malted egg salad sandwich here at the drugstore. Hold it there a second. The malted is named, of course, for malted milk, a combination of dried milk, wheat extract, and malted barley invented in 1887 by one William Horlick, who built a factory in Racine, Wisconsin, just to manufacture the stuff which he considered to be a dietary supplement for infants. Around the turn of the century, the last century, a soda jerk at Walgreens Drugs added the powder to a health drink being sold there at the time called the milkshake. Just thought you should know. Egg salad sandwich and chocolate malted. Well, Jordan, I think you might become famous for a brand new combination. Egg salad sandwich, chocolate malted. Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Nice kid. Well, we left the pharmacy a few minutes ago, and we ran into some students from the Savannah College of Art and Design who said that there is an actual restored diner on their campus, and so we are hightailing it from the Charleston area over to Savannah to get a look at this diner. The only thing that's kind of bad about it is that it looks like we got our first serious weather coming down on us. Bad thunderheads, very gray. People coming this way with their headlights on, temperatures going down, so I think we're going to get our first big dump of the trip. That's okay, we're prepared. If any image summons up nostalgia or appetite in an American, it's this one, a great American diner. It is, well, if we had a culinary coat of arms, I think it would be right up at the top. It's significant in our journey because, as far as I know, it's the only type of restaurant that was actually built to travel, to actually be on the road. Well, that's not entirely true. The early ancestor of this device was actually a lunch cart, rather a late night lunch cart called the Night Owl or Owl Cafe, manufactured up in New England during the latter half of the 1800s. And what happened is basically when factories lit out late at night, even during the Civil War, these lunch wagons would pull up and catch the people coming out and feed them. They got pretty big. In fact, in some cities they were large enough to have several horses pulling them and actually had little stools built on the inside. The trend towards size kept going, and eventually they were built large enough to be brought in and installed in at least a semi-permanent nature, if not a permanent nature, in locations like this. Although they did have wheels, diners did not really descend from dining cars, railroad cars, although some railroad cars have been converted. Really, the wheels were just there to get them to their site. What's special about this one is it has just scads of the original fittings on the inside. And let's go review those. So we'll pretend we're making a commercial for a 1938 streetlight. Come on. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 1938 Streamliner Diner, manufactured by the Worcester Car Company of Worcester, Massachusetts. It's approximately 38 feet long, 14 and a half feet wide, seats 36 people, including 14 at these high-tech stainless steel spinning stools. Very nice. The rest are housed in these luxurious oaken booths. The countertop is mauve marble, the floors are tile, the backsplash all the way down is sanitary and attractive stainless steel, brand new material. Although there's no air conditioning because I don't think it's even been invented yet. There are stained glass transoms that can be open and closed for airflow, and there's a hand crank awning outside to help shield your customers from the blistering sun. All the storage you would ever need has already been built into this unit, which can be delivered fully functional, stocked, and ready to operate to the site of your choice for, give or take, $10,000 to $12,000, depending on the extras. Of course, that was, around 1938. Today, an Art Deco masterpiece like this would probably set you back a few more than that. Just, a little. Of course, those of us who actually do get nostalgic over diners don't just get nostalgic for the structure, although it is indeed nice. Most of us are really nostalgic for the food, hot dogs and hamburgers, onion rings, pork rolls, sardine sandwiches, things like that. Of course, those foods became famous in America not because they tasted good. They became famous because they were cheap, and above all, that is what diners were here to do, to provide a regular working guy a cheap meal and a decent cup of joe. I can't help but notice that this cup of joe came from a famous national kind of gourmet chain brand, but that's okay. In this day and age, you got to go upscale with these things. After all, the upkeep on a museum piece like this is not small, and that's why we've got rosemary chicken salad sandwiches and salad niçoise and whatnot. No, it may not be regular diner fare, but a diner's got to do what a diner's got to do. Leaving Savannah, I kick myself mentally for having taken us 100 miles off course for a real diner serving no real diner food. I'm soon distracted, however, by a tremendous storm, what my grandmother used to call a frog strangler. We resist the urge to build an ark and push on. By the time the storm abates, hunger is newly upon us. I got a pig foot here. I'm hungry, and this is authentic, Of all the store-bought processed things, this is real food. This is going to be extraordinary.
No, come on, don't fiddle with it. You just got, there you go.
You want some? Well, there's good news. It is astoundingly good at ridding you of your hunger. Because I'm not hungry anymore. That was good. Onward! As we cruise north into the growing night in search of lodging, I ponder the foods we found on our first day, and the only regret I have is still lingering on my palate: pickled pig's foot. With no inn, hotel, motel, or motor lodge in sight, we decide to make camp and grill up an industrial package of chicken tenders that we bought at a gas station, which oddly enough had a respectable wine selection. We make our mess, we eat our mess, and fall into a blissful slumber. Morning. Highway 78, Washington, Georgia, which sits right there. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but here in the South, it just isn't breakfast unless there are biscuits, which is why we are at the Biscuit Place. I figure we're pretty safe here, The view inside the Biscuit Place almost overwhelmed me. There were biscuits, there was thick-cut bacon, there was fresh sawmilled gravy, there were fresh fried salmon croquettes, and out front in the main food window, well, everything a growing motorcyclist needs. I just didn't know what to order, so I decided to chat up some of the local regulars for suggestions. Now, if you weren't getting the egg and cheese, what would you have?
Tenderloin.
The pork tenderloin?
Yes.
So you're gonna get the mild sausage this morning. All right. I'm torn. I'm gonna order soon, but I can't decide. Everybody says the pork tenderloin is where it's at, but then there's also that really great looking salmon right there, and I don't know.
Salmon's good anyway.
Yeah? You think the salmon on a biscuit? I've never had a salmon biscuit.
I asked Margaret on the sausage what she wanted. I know she wants a tenderloin biscuit.
Tenderloin?
One tenderloin biscuit.
Free breakfast, that's what he said. All right, so I'll see you in a minute. All right, bye.
Are you a regular?
Yeah.
What do you usually get?
Tenderloin biscuit.
Tenderloin biscuit. The tenderloin so far is the most popular thing this morning.
We need biscuits.
Dear Lord, we need biscuits. When Feasting on Asphalt returns, we receive a badly needed lesson in biscuitry. Jennifer, she's one of the 50 family members that works here at the biscuit place, and she's actually going to make the biscuits. And as far as she knows, because she doesn't know who I am, which is hard to believe, but that I can't make biscuits. I've never, in fact, even eaten a biscuit, being as I'm probably a Yankee. So she's, even though I grew up over there, so she's going to take us through the making of her fabulous biscuit product, and I'm going to attempt to do my old job. Which is be a cameraman. This is kind of like...
That's your old job.
Yeah, my old job. It's kind of like Don Henley playing drums. Jennifer makes biscuits just like my grandma, God bless her. She starts with self-rising flour, 5 pounds of it. Then she adds 20 ounces of shortening, and she kneads them together by hand. Now, self-rising flour contains all of the chemical leavening agents needed to give the dough a lift. The shortening, of course, is used to shorten the dough, to prevent it from becoming hard during the kneading process, and also gives it a lovely flavor. Then buttermilk, and this is important. Now, Jennifer's going to add half a gallon of buttermilk to this, slowly building the dough over a few minutes. Now, the buttermilk is going to provide moisture, which will turn into steam to also lift the biscuits. But more than anything else, there'll be flavor. A nice little sour bite, which is really the hallmark of a southern biscuit. And of course, the acid will combine with the leavening in the flour to create CO2, which will give the biscuits an added lift. Highly developed in the other.
I've been known for that. She's got
one
really
arm.
developed.
It's the right arm. She's the one with that right arm that's just...
It's really developed.
Just look at it. Just look at it. Look at that right arm. My God. That would be a ham anywhere else.
I'm going to...
You're turning that out now. Is this regular flour or just more of the self-rising flour?
Pour the self-rising.
Okay.
See, usually there's not that much flour in the bottom, but that's okay.
Biscuits, it should be noted, have a long history as travel fare. The original French term biscuit means twice baked and referred to a hard little sea-going cracker that had the shelf life of, I don't know, plutonium. American baking powder biscuits, which have more in common with English scones, deserve a place at the road food table if for no other reason but that they form a perfect one-handed breakfast sandwich. Well, that probably affects the way you knead. Maybe your biscuits are better because of that.
Oh, I'm getting flour.
Don't worry about that.
Okay.
And I'll put them up in the window. Okay.
Yes.
Or my grandmother, who is, well, we did a biscuit show on my show Good Eats, and my grandmother came and we baked biscuits side by side. She won.
What a wonderful thing to do.
She won. And then she died.
Oh. How old was she?
Like 89.
Yeah. She lived a full life. That's good.
She owed me money.
She... Yeah, well. Did you like go to a culinary institute?
Yeah, I did.
You did? You sound as if you did. See, I never have been.
That doesn't mean I cook any better. All right, well, you should be pleased with that.
I am.
You should be.
And this is the coolest right here. Cool.
You just go right into the slots there, huh?
Yeah. Okay. And that's it. The best part of my job actually is probably working with my mother. If it wasn't for my mother being here, I probably...
What's your best part of the job?
working with my mother.
She meant brother, though.
Yeah, she meant brother.
Bye-bye. And you got the oven, what speed oven you got working there?
375 of convection.
Convection, 375. And how long will they be in there?
Till they get brown.
Till they get brown.
Yeah.
Who's the best biscuit maker here?
My mother.
Are you second after your mom in the biscuit category?
Yes.
12 minutes later, Jennifer extracts her golden delicious payload. She cranks the goodness level up to 11 with the brushing of melted butter and sends the biscuits out into a grateful world. After spending a couple of hours at the biscuit place, I still see no sign of the enigmatic frontman, Phil. I'm told that he's out doing what he likes doing best, besides making biscuits, of course, and that's mowing. Turns out he came to a ball game at the county field a few years ago, didn't like the way the grass looked, and started sneaking out in the middle of the night to mow it. Now, the county school board lets him do it weekly, for free. I decided to challenge him to a little bit of a race. He didn't take me up on it. Tell me about your biscuits.
Well, we started making those biscuits in, I think it was 1997, I think it was. We started in a little old 10-foot by 12-foot utility building with two household ovens, making 12 at the time. We started at 2 in the morning trying to keep up. A salesman come in and said, "You need some help." I said, "Well, what can you do to help me?" He said, "Let me show you this wonderful biscuit we got." And it was a frozen biscuit. He puts it in the oven, it pops out, it rises up. Oh, it was just beautiful. And I bit it. I knew the minute that I eat it, that was the wrong move to make, but I was looking for convenience, you know. So the next morning we opened up the biscuit place. We've got frozen biscuits. And in 2 weeks we were looking for ways to pay the light bill.
Your customers
No,
didn't...
they stopped. They flat out just would not come in the door.
And did they tell you that's what
Oh,
it was?
yeah. I had a older fella who still eats with me to this day. He come in and said, "You want me to eat with you anymore?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Well, don't let me see no more of these frozen biscuits in here." He took it, he dropped it on the floor, and he walked out.
He threw it down?
Threw it down and walked out.
And that was it. Do you think of your food as road food?
Yeah, I do, because and that was our intention. We wanted something that was quick, where somebody could get out, run in, look down there, see what you wanted, pick it out, get it, pay for it, and get out.
Get out.
We didn't want people sitting around sipping coffee. I don't want people hanging around. I want you to get in and talk. You know, if you want to talk football, if you want to talk deer hunting, we got a room for that. But I want you out of the people's way. I want you to pay for your food and get out. That's it.
Not going to be doing your internet surfing, sitting there in front of the...
And
I noticed there's no cappuccino,
no
espresso, and no latte.
We got black coffee. That's it.
Black coffee. I didn't even see any cream. It's black coffee. Get some sugar in your coffee and get your biscuit and get out.
And we do so in a friendly manner.
You ever take naps under this tree, Phil?
Yeah, especially after I eat 3 or 4 biscuits.
I think I might just nod off.
I think I will too.
What the heck?
Got another biscuit.
Yeah, here. With our bellies full of carbs, we push on north towards the chicken of my youth. Location, Highway 123, heading into Toccoa, Georgia. This next stop on our road food expedition has special meaning for me because I used to eat here as a kid with my parents. Back then, we called it the chicken basket. Today, we call it closed. I hate that. Come here. Liver dinner. Now it's my dad. Gizzard dinner. Mom. Me, I wasn't so advanced. I had the fish dinner, double hush puppies, no tots. Didn't have tots then. You had crinkle cut fries. Now, I'm not saying that the bypass did this place in. Restaurants come and go all the time. Still, it makes me a little sad. Luckily, I know a place up the street that's just as good. No, better. Well, I don't know that Shirley's Soul Food Cafe is good, but I've certainly heard a lot about it, and I consider myself to be something of a soul food aficionado. The menu board lays down the law. They got it all, right down to the apple cobbler. Of course, the first thing we've got to do is sort out our golden browns and deliciouses. I'd like dark meat only, please. I'd like some of the rutabagas, please.
Rutabaga.
Yeah. And I need some of those beans right there. I definitely need some of those beans. And collards, for sure collards. Cornbread or biscuit? Which way should I go, the cornbread or the biscuit? You work here,
Cornbread.
I don't. You think the cornbread?
Cornbread. Do you know anything about crackling cornbread?
Of course. She just asked me if I know anything about crackling cornbread. Crackling's the only food that I know came just like straight from heaven.
Let's have crackling cornbread, okay?
Cracklings? Can you explain to the camera what cracklings are?
Crackling is, it comes from strickling.
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 It's off the back.
And it's, yes, off the back of the hog. And you'll fry it out into little chunks. And you just mix it in your cornmeal when you're making your cornbread.
So we're talking about basically deep fried fat.
Deep fried
Deep fried fat. This is a plate of edible southness. This is what my people ate. Oh, excellent.
Like a
That's
sweet
sweet tea?
tea?
Yes, ma'am. There we go. So we're sitting down to Jared's first honest-to-goodness soul food meal. Obviously, Tom's not shy. I've never seen him be shy about food. So dig in, want to know what you think. I'm going to start. I suggest starting. Look at the composition of this plate. I don't think that there's a French gastronome who could lay things out better. We've got the green next to the orange, next to the, well, beige, I guess, and we got the cornbread on top, the fried chicken, which is just barely sitting, and a little bit of the juice from the beans. That's going to be the best bite right there. And it's a bite that I'm willing to take for science, for history. So this is Shirley Combs, and this is Shirley's place. And tell me something, Shirley. What is soul food to you? What's it mean?
To me, it just, in other words, it just gets to, it's just a special type of food. And it's no special way that you really fix it. It's just that you know how to fix it. I mean, you know, it's not, everybody thinks it's greasy. It's not really greasy.
No.
The soul food is collard greens, pinto beans, heavy food.
Now, to really be soul food, does it have to have a historical connection to the past? You know, a lot of folks think that it's got to do with, you know, the traditions that came over with the slaves from Africa to be real. Do you think that's true, or is it really just how you cook it?
I don't think so, because, see, I don't know anything about that. So I would think not.
It's not your soul food.
No.
How long have you been cooking?
Actually, I've been cooking since I was about 10 years old.
Yeah? Did you have to cook for your family, or
Yeah.
did you just do it?
My mom taught me how to cook, yes.
When did you know that you wanted to feed people all the time?
A restaurant?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do it, but I always thought I never could. Financially, I thought I'd never have enough money to even do this. So my son had a barbershop right next door.
Yeah, this first time I came here,
Yeah.
you could go down right through there and get a shave.
Yeah, he had a barbershop over there. Well, you had to go around because that door was locked off because of the food purpose here.
Oh.
But anyway, one day he came home. He said, "Mom, they closed the restaurant down next door to me." He said, "You ought to go up there." And I said, "I don't think so." What makes you think I ought to go? And he said, "You always wanted to do a restaurant, so why not go?" And I said, "Well, I don't have the money for one thing." And he looked at me and he said, "Well, you pray about everything else, why not pray about that?" And that's exactly what I did. A year to the day that the guy let me lease this place, and I leased it broke, but I asked him to give me a chance. He gave me the chance to try it. And after about 3 months, I was where he wanted me to be, and I've been going ever since.
And how long ago was that?
7 years.
7 years. So Shirley Soul Food, rocking hard after 7 years.
Yes.
What's your favorite part of doing this? What's the part that feeds you deep down?
The cooking.
The cooking?
Yeah.
And so what about seeing folks come in every day and just mopping it up?
I see them come in, but most of it makes me happy to see them leave, and they're happy.
Yeah.
They're full and happy.
Now, let me explain about the pickles and the cobbler. One might think that the pickles, in this case, very young pickles, went to marinate just this morning, would be to eat during the meal. No, you don't do that. Here's what you do. My grandfather taught me this in a restaurant not 50 miles from here. First, you're done with your food, your main course, you eat your cobbler. Then you eat your pickles as a palate cleanser, although I'm pretty sure my grandfather didn't say palate. He was a mechanic, so he probably wasn't a palate cleansing kind of guy. Anyway, we go to the cobbler, then the pickles. Don't even look at my cobbler. You're looking at my cobbler. Stop it. Although it feels as though we just emerged from the steamy state of South Carolina, a tip sends us back into the East and into history. Although Shirley's fine cuisine certainly satisfied our souls, before we knew it, our stomachs were rumbling again. But this time we decided perhaps some fiber was in order. Here we are outside of Spartanburg, South Carolina. We have located ourselves a roadside produce stand, a virtual cornucopia of goodness, and a place where we can find some very ancient road food. Watermelons. That's right. Good old watermelons. You know that thousands of years ago, Arab travelers that were trekking across the desert used to grow these little bitty watermelons like this that would literally grow right in the sand. And they would use them as water storage devices as well as sugar storage devices. There, that one looks good. The trick when buying at a roadside stand is to always dig the melon out of the bottom where they're all nice and cool. You always want to buy a melon that's got a nice big wide patch where it's been sitting on the ground. The bigger this is, the longer it's been on the ground and the longer it's had to ripen. And that's a good thing. See the juice running down my arm? That is a good sign. The watermelon in your hand is, oh, it went right through to my hand. Oh. If the juice doesn't run down your elbow, if the juice doesn't run down your elbow, you need to get yourself another watermelon. Well, of course you don't. Almost stabbed me in the hand.
Not close.
Oh! Having tanked up on melon, I decided to take a wrong turn and just keep going. It's not that I don't know the way to LA, it's just that I want to check out a tip I'd received earlier in the day. Besides, Charlotte, North Carolina would be a great launching point for our pending incursion into the Smoky Mountains. Well, kids, the air is thick with excitement here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Why? Because we've discovered one of the true missing links of the road food world. That's right, we have found a real drive-in. The 21 South. They've got little speakers and trays and car hops, the whole 9 yards. Of course, drive-ins are all about curb service. What is curb service? Watch this.
Most recently developed type is the drive-in or curb service type. Here, the customer need not even leave his car to enjoy the tempting varieties offered by this type service. This is a restaurant, soda fountain, and picnic all rolled into one. Its location is determined by the flow of automobile traffic to provide a constant source of business.
Okay, sir, go right ahead.
Okay, I'd like to get one Superboy, one fish-o burger, one grilled ham and cheese, one hot dog, a chocolate shake, and an iced tea.
All right, so we have a Superboy, a hot dog, a grilled ham and cheese, a fish burger, a chocolate shake, and one iced tea.
Oh, yeah, and how about 3 orders of your onion rings?
All right, sir. Anything else?
Gosh, I think that should do it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much. You are looking at the perfect marriage of road and food. Well, the food's not here yet, but it will be. The drive-in really came to being in the early part of the 20th century. People got money to afford cars, the government got behind building roads, and urban areas expanded, giving a kind of seed ground to car culture. Now, if you can imagine a drive-in in, say, 1925, you would pull in, and a car hop would literally hop on the running board of your car while it was still moving, taking your order. Later on, the car hops were mostly replaced, at least out west, with girls in skimpy shorts on roller skates who very quickly could move around, taking orders, moving them into the kitchen and bringing the food back out again. It really was perfect and elegant and a lot of fun, what with the trays and the speakers and all that. What happened? Well, we still have a few, but by and large, yeah, come here. Excuse me, folks, I'm here to inspect your drink holders. I see that you have 2 drink holders right there. Do you have any others hidden in the console anywhere?
No, there's just one behind.
One in the back. So we have a total of 3 drink holders then, do we? I see. Do you know what year this car was manufactured in, sir?
1999.
1999. Thank you very much. Enjoy your meal.
Thank you.
So, 1999, and they have 3 cup holders. How primitive. These days, I've seen cars with 10, 12, 18 cup holders, believe it or not. How did this all get started? Well, I gotta go somewhere else for that. In the early days of car design, manufacturers didn't concern themselves with culinary concessions. Consider the 1938 Rolls-Royce Phantom II. Although the Brits did think to include a glove compartment in which a flask could be stashed, the driver would probably be too busy with the manual shifting, steering, and braking to actually enjoy a nap. The 1948 Tucker was an amazing innovation. Engine in the back, seatbelts, moving headlamps. But not only did Tucker leave out a drink holder, he skipped the glove compartment altogether. Then came the 1957 Chevy Bel Air. This classic cruiser had it all, including a glove compartment door with 3 cup dimples, which, with 3 inches of headroom, were utterly useless. But hey, big ideas start small. Speaking of small, the 1966 Ford Mustang, the ultimate pony car, was considered quite an innovation. And look, now the dimples have little grates for liquid runoff. Wow, that's progress. Those of us who came to driving age in the 70s fought back with these cunning little cradles which hooked onto the door. But no such device is necessary today because modern SUVs and minivans are more living rooms than vehicles. Why, even our humble support truck sports no fewer than 8 drink holders, including what are called Phase 1 drink holders here and mechanical Phase 2 cup holders. Sweet. With beverage stabilization systems like this, eating on the go is a snap. So, as you can see, we don't need no pesky drive-ins or any other non-drive-through window-based roadside eateries. They only slow us down and put us in uncomfortable contact with our fellow man, right? Right. Well, having sampled the better part of a Superboy twin patty burger that was very good, a barbecue sandwich, an entire chili dog, which was excellent, fish sandwich, some fries, and 2 different shakes, I have come to the conclusion that the killer app here at the 21 South, onion rings. Well, if I've learned anything these first few days, it's that this is going to be a lot harder than I'd imagined. Deciding what to eat, when to eat it, who to talk to, which road to take, all darned hard decisions. From now on, we'll just stop when Tom gets hungry, because he has to eat every couple of hours. I am encouraged, though, because in a couple of days, we've eaten some very real food and enjoyed some very warm hospitality. My one regret? That pig's foot. Not doing that again. When next we ride, we feast on great smoky piles of pork, visit a colonel, and discover that Duncan Hines is still dead.